This is the theme of setback and misery. Pause, lack of strategy, select frames. So Paul is practicing taking the knife, the butcher knife, out of his sling, so that if she approaches him, he'll be ready. Okay, but you know, I don't think that was an effective strategy. We don't know if he also placed the book back in the proper place and kept it on the page or the part of the photo album how he found it. So we don't know that. But we do realize in a few screenshots later, a few frames later, that she found out about him being out of his room. Like I said, I wonder if she drove off and parked somewhere and saw him. So then we get this look here that I think is very interesting. It's just such a nice, neat look. Paul Sheldon thinking, just reflecting. I don't feel like he has been learning other than what he just learned from the book. But, you know, I just don't think that he was in the mindset that when Annie left, that it could have been a trap. What if she had returned? Sure, the door was closed and he saw the car drive off, but what if she had returned just to come back, right? And he was already outside of the room. So then this confirms to us, because we know Annie is not here, not in the house. This confirms to us that he has been helping himself get in and out of the bed. So now we know beyond a shadow of a doubt he definitely has strength. That is not just the upper body strength, but he's able to use his upper body to raise the lower body as well. So this nice view of the house with lights on, of course. Annie is going to return. It's not raining anymore. And we don't know where Annie went, where she goes when she is depressed. And so I think he hears her driving up, and so it's going to be a learning as well. But we also can see with his sling that he's holding something. And so it does make sense that he would put that knife up under the bed, but I would have thought that it would have been much better to hide it somewhere on his person, maybe in his pants, right? And because to hide it under the bed it's very easy to come in and search the room. It may not be as easy to search between your legs. And so I don't know. So Annie stops by the door and essentially to listen to see if he's still up, right? Because he has been typing on a typewriter. And so I'm assuming that she's listening for those sounds. But she doesn't come in, she doesn't engage, she just assumes that he is essentially asleep. And so Paul is saying essentially that, I'll see you in the morning or something like that. So he is so sure of himself that he got this strategy down packed, that he can take Annie down. But he's not paying attention to the fact that Annie has taken every opponent that she has encountered, even the babies. The babies were her opponents as well, that she felt like she had to take down. And so again, he's just not moving into a real logical thinking about something. I would have liked for the director to have Paul maybe go through his own dialogue. It's Annie who goes through her mini dialogues, but we don't get a mini dialogue from Paul. Why isn't he talking by himself in the room? Why isn't he having discussions and going? He's kind of mute, essentially mute. And I don't know, Annie's influence definitely has made an impact on him, right? But it's just interesting that he's not going through sort of like a mini dialogue of his own, a monologue of his own. Also, he's not taking pen to pad to sketch out a strategy. We don't see him really strategizing. Going in to go get the knife really isn't strategy. Pouring the peels into the contents of the peels into the paper container is really not a strategy. It's all desperation. Let me just try something to come up with some idea so I can get out of here. Like I said in previous frames, that when you are trying to get out of your setback, you just try anything just to come up with anything. It's kind of like throwing the dart to the dartboard and hoping that it hit the bullseye, right? Just eventually it's going to hit the bullseye, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the dartboard and really strategize how you're going to throw the dart in order for it to hit the bullseye. And that's what I feel like he just coming up with makeshift little ideas that he thinks will work in order for him to take down Annie, not understanding that Annie is on a power trip, for one, which is revealed in many of the newspaper clippings. She's on a power trip, for one. She holds all the cards. She knows her context better than she knows, because when she comes back in with the needle, she knows just what type of tool to put him to sleep and keep him asleep while she searches the room. So Annie is operating with a much better advantage and than Paul, and that's why I say Paul should have taken some time to walk about the house. Walk about the room at least. Try to work on his legs. Try to move them. Try to raise them. Do a number of things, because you're still essentially immobile. And that if you fall on the floor, you cannot hoist yourself up. You only are able to hoist yourself up because the bed is at the same level of the wheelchair. But you haven't had any real and going into the kitchen, leaving the room and going into the kitchen is basically falling down on the floor and crawling. But you haven't practiced trying to move about, and that's why I say what he's doing is, just really premature. So he places the knife up under the mattress, hoping that his little secret, right, will be concealed. But then also Annie goes into her kitchen, and I don't remember him eating anything, so she hasn't served him any meal. And all women go into their kitchen, and I'm quite sure that she noticed a big butcher knife is missing. It might have been better for him to take one of the knives that are less likely for him, less likely for Annie to notice, right? And so anyone would notice a big butcher knife missing. And so I thought this camera angle was interesting, that we get to see Paul from a higher view, right? And it's, kind of symbolic of him thinking that he has a higher edge on Annie, when in reality, she's going to bring him right back down to earth. All right, like, subscribe, and visit. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more discussions. You can visit my YouTube channel for further film analysis. It's Favorites Film Analysis as the title of the channel. You can always send me an email and ask me a question, reginayfavorites@yahoo.com. My Overcoming Setback, 5 Keys for Entering and Exiting Correction book will become available around October 2021. I'm still doing some editing. The book does not focus on film analyses, but I use the content that I created for the book to support my my perceptions of setback used as a theme in select films. So when the book becomes available, I will send out a notification, video, audio. Thank you very much for visiting the channel.